Hey friends, welcome back to Lucidity Time. I am Brooke, the Blue Jay Fae, and today we're going to be talking about this full moon in Aquarius. The full moon in Aquarius is happening at 6 degrees of Aquarius, conjunct Pluto by 2 degrees. Pluto is the ruler of the underworld, that which is operating underneath the surface. And it is about our reclaiming our power through being able to see and look at what we're afraid of and what's operating underneath the surface. So it's kind of an intense full moon because that seems so contradictory to the energy of the sun in Leo, playful Leo, creative Leo, conjunct Jupiter, the expander. Like Jupiter conjunct the sun in Leo. So we have Jupiter and the sun in Leo opposite the moon and Pluto over here in Aquarius. This is the equation here. And the sun conjunct Jupiter in general is like expansive blessings, right? But in Leo especially, it's like this very like Leo itself is a solar plexus energy. So there's this shining, there's this like, oh my gosh, like the sun is kind of like how we carry our purpose too. So it's like, how am I shining in my purpose? And it's expanding, and like, there's something really big about this energy. And yet it's opposite the moon, our inner world, our emotional body, conjunct Pluto. Energy of excavation, this energy of like the underbelly, of like exposure of things. So in essence, to me, this full moon is exposing what has kept us from shining, what's keeping us from shining and expanding. But it's also showing us like where and how we're shining and expanding, or maybe what we're moving into. The moment right now, we still have this basket playing out where we have the Leo and the sun. We've got Pluto and the moon right here activating this basket, where we have the sun and Jupiter in a trine to Neptune and Aries, the Pluto moon in a trine to Uranus and Gemini, and those two in a sextile and these two in a sextile. And that's the basket that's been occurring. The sun and the moon are now activating this basket that astrologers have been talking about. And we've been talking about how the fire horse year in Chinese zodiac astrology is the year of new beginnings, like that this is a year of new beginnings. We were talking about how Saturn and Neptune moving into Aries was a really big new start, because it's the first sign of the zodiac. And we've been also talking about, or I've been thinking about how it's a 1 year. And so it really is, it's this year of new beginnings. And this basket configuration is like, okay, to me, I think of it as like it's holding, right? It's a basket, it's holding. What is it holding? This new beginning, this new start for each of us. And what's interesting is personally to look at where these 4 planets are, and especially the sun and the moon in this moment of the full moon, where they are in your chart, like what houses they are in your chart. And I've been playing a lot between house systems. So maybe this is a good opportunity. I'm not going to reveal my insight just yet, but maybe this is a good opportunity to play with that yourself if you understand the houses. Something I like to understand about Leo is that it is the sign after Cancer. And we just had a really thick Cancer season with Mercury retrograding through Cancer while the sun was moving through the sign. And so it was really emotional. I feel, for me, it was very emotional. And Cancer is our emotional body. Cancer is our home, our upbringing, our memories. And so there's a way in which through the journey in the zodiac, when we move through Cancerian energy, we're going through this inner self-discovery, this process of maybe observing our relationship with self-care as well. And when we emerge into Leo, archetypally through this zodiacal journey, we're emerging into like, okay, I've discovered who I am. This is who I am. Like, I want to shine it. I want to share it. I want to be seen. Leo loves being seen, being like validated through being seen. And Leo likes to play. And it essentially is our creative self-expression. Now, when we look at this in the context of the Leo-Aquarian axis, Aquarius is opposite Leo, right? It's the sign that, okay, now we've gone from Leo through, actually up, it's like more like this in terms of the house system. It goes up through all of the social houses. We go through Virgo, self-refinement, and then we move through all of the social houses and we land in Aquarius. And so what that means is that the soul or process has gone through like self-refinement, equality with others, some kind of ego death, some kind of greater vision, truth-seeking, building responsibility, and we land in Aquarius, where we take that shining gift that we have discovered and that we want to shine and share and play in Leo, and we're bringing it with a much more socially conscious and responsible energy to the collective table. We're saying, it's not like, oh my God, look at me. It's like, okay, I have this gift to bring. And it's my responsibility, actually, to share my gift so that we can all create a new world together. And it's really important that you share your gift, and 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 that you share your gift. And so that we can all kind of weave together. And I really do feel like there's this divine design to everything where all of the puzzle pieces are here, right? And we just have to embody our own puzzle piece to help form the puzzle. And that feels so good when we're actually embodying our puzzle piece, right? And so this full moon, I feel like the moon conjunct Pluto is like, what's keeping you from embodying your puzzle piece? Like, what power dynamic, what fear, what underlying psychology, what is going on underneath the surface that is keeping you maybe in a power struggle or in some kind of, is like blocking you from being able to, just like really calmly claim, or excitedly with the Jupiter sun in Leo, but also think about the Aquarian energy, very objective, very like, okay, like this is just me and I need to share this. What's keeping you from that? And opposite, the Leo energy, what's keeping you from playing? What's keeping you from creating? What's keeping you from shining and allowing yourself to be seen? When we look at the basket energy, I'm going to talk a little bit about this, and there's a lot going on, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But when we look at Uranus in Gemini, we're looking at innovation of the mind, innovation of the way that we see and process information, that we connect the dots. And having had Mars moving through Gemini for the past 2 months, it's been really up for us. It's only been a month, I guess. It's really been up for us to look at how we're thinking, and to, like, this full moon, I think that's involved, because the Uranus is trine the Pluto moon. So the way that we are thinking is maybe being exposed to us, and it's helping us to innovate and to change the way that we're thinking to better serve us, to support, and we have that sextile with the Jupiter sun, to support the way that we are able to shine, lead, and share Leo's also a leader. And then when we look at the other bottom quadrant with the Neptune in Aries, it's a new dream. It's a new dream. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. Neptune is dreaming and spirituality, and the dissolver too. Dissolver of illusion, ideally, can be idealism. But I see it as a new dream. So we've got like a new dream, innovative thinking, and then this process between Moon, Pluto, Sun, Jupiter. Also during this full moon, we have Saturn in an inexact square to Cancer, to Mercury in Cancer. So there's still a little bit of a heavy energy around our thinking, and our thinking right now is still in Cancer. So we're still tapped into an emotional way of processing information. And Mars in Gemini is squaring Venus in Virgo. Venus in Virgo is not in her favorite sign. She's in her detriment. And Venus may be too focused on details right now. She may be a little bit stuck. And the square from Mars is bringing in a challenge as it pertains to our ability to take action. And in Gemini, it has to do with maybe, again, our thought process and our communication. So we may be too scattered mentally, and that may be challenging our ability to, like, maybe in some kind of rub with that Venus tending to the details, or there may be like too much going on in the mind for us to feel like we can be taking action or really sorting through things. So I think it's just a good time to become aware of our thoughts and aware of the way that our thoughts are influencing us. And it may be a very emotional moon because we have that Pluto conjunct the moon. There may be this like, and the Sun Jupiter is a very joyful, prosperous energy, but being opposite those things, it's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I feel the new dream and the expansion and everything, but there's this challenge. And the beautiful thing, though, is that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to see what is holding us back, what has been holding us back, and for us to face it and to reclaim our power. That's what Pluto wants. That's what Pluto's service is, to help us to reclaim our power. And in this case, our ability to shine and share and lead and be seen and play. The nodes of the moon just moved back as they move backwards from Pisces into Aquarius and from Virgo into Leo. So I'm going to be talking about this axis more in an upcoming video. And I just did a little podcast on the completion of the Piscean Virgo axis energies. So if you feel called to listen to that, I think it's still very relevant with everything going on and in our continuous unfolding process. And I'm just so really stoked that I get to do this. And, I'm facing my own stuff. Aquarius is also has to do with innovation and technology. And again, the collective. So any of those things, that might be where the Platonic energy is happening. Could be social groups, could be technology, could be the way that we are, participating in the collective, and kind of looking at like what is our Aquarian dream, and what's coming up around that. I say I have my own stuff because I had a bunch of technology stuff keeping me from making this, but I have, I believe, achieved in making it. If you're seeing this, then that is so. And sending you a lot of love from the tea house from Gainesville, Florida. It's lucid tea time, and I haven't even been drinking tea. I've been talking about the astrology so much, so cheers. Oh God. Okay. Blessings. Ciao for now.